Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Individuals here gathered for us to have some great conversations. I'd like to call to order our work session on January 27th at 5 p.m. Our first item of business is a presentation on the finance department. We're joined by our finance director, Ms. Waldron. Thank you for being here with us tonight.
And I didn't have any live animals or anything like that, so we brought our stress ball.
Oh, I thought this was St. Patrick's Day. But dollars.
There we go.
Always prepared.
All right. So anyway, you got your squishy dollars, and I won't have a cat crawling all over me while I present. So it's your stress. Like when I bring you stressful things, you'll have your little dollar bill there. So oops. We may have a delay again. Hopefully I didn't push it again. So this is the finance department staff. I actually got really recent pictures. Ian did not make our employee appreciation end of year party, so we drew him into the picture with his award. I know, exactly. So finance has 16 budgeted positions. Utility billing has 6. Quite a few responsibilities and services that we cover under our department. These are not an all-inclusive list, but a pretty complete list. I would want to kind of point out compliance reporting, that continues to become more and more every single year, it seems like, or at least every other year. We get more additional things that we have to track and report, and so that's always growing. Year in review in November, and we're going back. We're talking about fiscal 25, so I had to really go back in my brain there. But we did go live with utility billing in November of 2024, at the very beginning of our fiscal year, and that was a journey. But we're on a better system. There's lots of pluses about the new system, and we're continuing to learn. We are going through what they call a PACE audit right now with our provider, who analyzes kind of our movements within the system and then comes back with recommendations on ways we might be able to become more efficient, or maybe we're doing 5 steps and it could be done in 2. So it's a good time after you've kind of been in the system and been live for a while to kind of go back and make sure that we're using it the most efficient way. Right at the end of the fiscal year, one of our staff took the initiative to work with our business process analyst to start revamping a new accounts payable process. And so this was a team of staff across the city to kind of talk about that process and what it does look like and what it could look like, and start working with our provider on workflows and how it would actually work in the system. And so we are starting to test and go live right about now on that new process. And so it will cut down numerous steps in that process. And I'm very proud of our staff for always kind of looking at how can we do better? What can we do to improve this? We have been notified that we received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for our fiscal 25 budget document, and we've also received the Certificate of Achievement in Excellent in Financial Reporting for fiscal 24's annual comprehensive financial report. I think I skipped it. Okay. So this is just kind of a snapshot of the number of transactions that we might touch in a fiscal year. So purchase orders, 473, totaling $22 million. Contracts, 210, totaling over $260 million. P-card transactions, almost 14,000 at $3.6 million. With our P-card program, we do get a rebate for that program, so that's always a nice plus. Request for proposal and bids, 29. We did almost a little over 9,800 in payments, totaling $407 million. We do biweekly payroll. On average, it's about 475 timesheets and payments. But in the summer, it gets up to about 620 when the pool and the parks and all the part-time people come on for the summer. And then I had 58 active capital projects. Just a snapshot of what we've done in debt management. We did issue the 25 certificate of obligation, $121 million. And this was for a combination of streets, water, and wastewater infrastructure. We issued a 25 refunding bond for $18 million. I believe the savings on that was a little over $1 million. So significant enough to go through the process of doing the refund. We also issued a special assessment for the Metal Arc PID for $14.7 million. And we were working on, which we have now closed, the WIFIA Tranche 2 loan of $176 million. And the application for the Texas Water Development Board actually started back in 2024, and we're scheduled to close on both of those loans February 24th. So that is always a long process, but we have made it down to the final steps. Financial reporting, obviously we do the annual comprehensive financial report, which is part of the, I would say, three months that we spend through the audit, and the report is the final document that's produced. Our budget to actual fiscal 25, our fiscal 26 budget adoption, and now that budget never ends. Like, we prepare, we adopt, and now we use it as the tool all year long and monitor actuals against budget. Debt obligations, we pay those, almost all of them are paid twice a year. And so we monitor and pay those semi-annually. Debt transparency, some of this gets into some of the comptroller requirements. So we do have debt transparency compliance, which is out. It's just been updated on our website within the last week. We do monthly and quarterly council reports, but we also do quarterly meetings with every department, and we review their budget to actuals and go over any variances and anything that we need to know about. We do that on a quarterly basis, and that's very helpful. Hotel occupancy tax is also an annual report. It's due within the next month or so. An Economic Development Corporation annual report, and the TERS annual report. So I did want to highlight financial transparency. We have added some new items onto our website. So we've added the quarterly reports. Obviously, the annual financial documents are on there. The budget documents are on there. So if you haven't gone on there in a while, we do have some new items added, and some the debt transparency was just updated. On the utility billing side, total customers, a little over 25,000. New customers within the fiscal year, a little over 4,000. New meters, 421. WaterSmart active, active logins on WaterSmart, a little over 3,000. Portal payments, 141,000. Our average monthly bills, we print a little over 10,000, and we email a little over 14,000.
I'm curious, that new customers number seems awfully high. Is that just because we have that many people turn over in the city, or is a significant number of those new buildings? So the new meters are new meters in the system, the 421. 421. So the new customers are truly like new applications, new either. So those are 3,000, almost 4,000 people who are new to the city? New applications. Or does that include people who move within the city? It could include people that move within the city. Okay. So it's just new customers being processed. Even though they move 2 doors down.
Could be commercial too, right?
It could be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all new customers. I like the number though, because it does represent, like, these are, staff has to work all of those new applications, set up, utilities has to go out there and do a disconnect or a reconnect, or, I mean, all of those new customer activities come with several things, for to get them back up and running. Did want to highlight some enhancements that we're working on in utility billing. Tyler Notify is just a module that our provider provides. One of the things it will do is, in our phone tree, it will actually give an option for the customer to be able to get their bill amount, there's certain information that they'll be able to get just right over the phone. So if we're not open, or if it's on a weekend, they don't have to wait if they don't have a portal login, which of course would be the easiest way to get the information. But this will give them another option. It'll also allow us to be able to target customers when we need to send out notifications, and we can do it all within the system. And everything gets logged onto the account. So if we do a notification, it flags on that account that we did that notification. So it's actually really good for our customer service representatives to be able to see exactly what that customer, if we send out a targeted email, it shows us that they opened the email. Like, there's really great information that we get on the customer. And so we are in implementation on it right now. So hopefully within the next couple of months, we'll be able to roll that out. The other thing we're doing,
we had this water problem here recently where there was a huge spill, and a contractor had broken a line, and there were people over a significant part of the city that had some water disruption. Now, obviously, our information people did a great job of putting that out on the various social media, and was on, I believe it was on the front page of the city website, if I'm not mistaken. But would this, once this is fully operational, this would allow us to send text messages directly to people in the affected areas?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to target the area and then just send messaging to that targeted area through this system.
All right. So if you live in the area that's serviced by this pipe, your water pressure is going to be down for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Please don't panic. Don't flood us with calls. We know about it. We're working on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this will help us a lot. The system that we use now, we can still send notifications out, but it's a lot harder to target the audience. And so this will be a lot easier.
What other type of notifications would be sent using this feature?
I mean, actually, this will go across more than just utility billing. If you have the Notify module, you can actually use it in other areas, payroll, AP. I mean, we have it, so we will make sure that we utilize it as much as we can across all the platforms. But right now, we're focusing on the utility billing side.
Is that like reminder your bill is due kind of notifications, or?
We can send out.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
I didn't know what.
Yeah.
Or is it just if there's service interruptions?
No, it's any kind of notification.
She said it's
Yeah.
goodness. You can get across.
The other thing we're looking at is, right now we have a payment portal and we have WaterSmart, and we're looking at providers that work alongside WaterSmart to be able to have a single sign-on. So basically, you would go onto WaterSmart, and that's where your payment portal would also live. So we're going to get away from having the two portals, and our goal would be just to have the one WaterSmart portal. It also push people to WaterSmart, which we need. We don't have as many on the WaterSmart as we would like. I think the number was like 20% of eligible accounts. And so I think this would help a lot, and it would just kind of streamline and simplify the payment portal as well. And we're looking at vendors that provide more options for the payment, so like text to pay. And so not only will we get a single sign-on, but we will also hopefully have more flexibility in how you pay. So.
Have you looked into why people aren't adopting WaterSmart? I mean, I picked it up. Obviously, I think you told us about it, or maybe it was some of the water guys who told us about it when it first rolled out. So I looked into it right away and signed up. But you said only about 20% of the eligible customers are using WaterSmart. And we've had that program now for about a year and a half. Is that right?
It's
Almost
at
2 years.
least,
I
yeah.
I think it's two.
I mean, I know that utility staff is always pointing people in that direction when people call and they have questions about, their usage or their bill, or we're always pointing them back to the WaterSmart model. We can literally send them a link that will allow them to go on there and sign up. Probably could use some targeted marketing to kind of ramp it up. But as far as why people don't go and look at and set up notifications, it seems like that would be something people would want. They're going to find out about a leak in their house a lot quicker that way. Otherwise, it's when you get your bill and you're like, oh my goodness, my bill is extreme. So our customer service representatives do review those reports on a regular basis and will send notices out if they see something abnormal happening with an account. We do have some notifications set up in the system that will flag us that somebody might have a leak, and we will go ahead and notify them. But it would be very helpful if, and that's my next slide, is just how to get on the free digital portal and create a login. It gives you detailed information. If you have something running, like a running toilet or something like that, you're going to be able to see it on the graph because the reads are pulled pretty regularly.
I do have a question.
It's a great feature. I'm just trying to figure out why 80% of the eligible accountants after 2 years. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if 6 months in we've had 80% non-adoption, but after 2 years, there's something going on inside people's heads, or they're not getting the information. There's a resistance, or there's a lack of awareness.
I think combining the payroll portal with the WaterSmart portal will actually help because we have a lot of people on the payment portal. And so combining those
60% of the total customers are in the payment portal?
I'd have to get that. I'm not totally sure, but I know there's a lot of payments processed out of the portal. So people are going to the payment portal. So if we can combine the two portals, I believe that
Well, are they
obviously we'll have
the
more
payment
success
portal
with
more
getting
than once?
people.
Because if you set it up on autopay, you never go back
Yeah.
again.
And then
Unless
hopefully
you-
you signed up for the alerts.
True. Right.
So I think we're getting a little too deep into our utility alerts.
I did have a question on the WaterSmart. Is there an option to look at hourly usage? Because I've gotten those alerts and have no idea. We're like wondering, go where? What is it? Was it like So when I looked at it, it's only daily. I looked extensively. So for an hourly option, couldn't find it.
As somebody who has
You can
Manville,
always call utility. They'll walk you right through it.
yeah, I would love to have this. I'm still jealous y'all get this.
And then just a snippet of the payment portal. We do try to drive people to the payment portal, set up their information, set up an auto pay. We have a lot of other ways that people can pay, but this one is convenient for them, and I believe it's convenient for us as well because we just get the downloaded file and process it that way. So
Is this Serena's bill?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know.
And I believe that was my last slide. If you have any questions for me.
Tracy, thank you so much. Any other questions related to the presentation by our finance department? All right, that takes us to item 2B, which is a presentation regarding the Pflugerville Community Development Corporation FY26 first quarter financial report. And Finance Director Tracy Waldron, looks like you get this one too.
I'll just sit tight and stay here. So yes, this is the first quarter. Total revenue is about 21% of budget. Sales tax is obviously their biggest revenue. It's at 24% of budget. We're trending 3.8% year over year, and we budgeted 3%, so that's favorable. We're going to continue to monitor that. Interest income, unfortunately, is trending below budget, so I don't anticipate that it will hit 100% budget this year. And then there's a larger other revenue, but it relates to the water park, and it always comes in on the fourth quarter. On the expense side, 17% of budget. I just kind of have the breakdown here. Personnel is 18%, operating 20%. Development incentives are 9%. Most of that is paid out in quarter four. Capital projects are 5%, and debt payments are at 32%. They did receive the board when we presented their quarterlies to them on the 21st. Now that we're doing our own investment tracking software, we were actually able to generate just a PCDC investment report. So I hope that was helpful for them.
How awesome is that?
On your report, it has all of the investments, including PCDCs, but we were able to produce them just their own investment report. So they received that as well.
Awesome.
That's it.
Council, any questions on the PCDC report? Seems pretty straightforward. All right. At this point, I'm going to. Oh yes, got one more discussion item. This is a council discussion item. This is regarding potential amendments to the master fee schedule. This is something that I brought forward. I had asked our attorney to draft an ordinance, but it's not ready yet. So hopefully that will be on our next agenda. But my goal here, wanted to clue everyone into what I'm trying to accomplish. If you look at our master fee schedule, particularly under our animal shelter, you'll see that our PAWS director has the ability to reduce certain fees in certain scenarios, leveraging their judgment or specific criteria to reduce fees. One of the things we did with our budget this last year, we amended our temporary certificate of occupancy fee so that it doubles each time, each month. And I believe we had a gentleman who came and spoke to us a few months ago, maybe just last month. It's all adding up. About how he was progressing through that process, trying to get to the final CO. I think we set that doubling as somewhat of a punitive nature to ensure that people aren't lingering on a TCO. Doubling certainly hikes that up. The goal here would be to enable the building official or the planning and development services director to also exercise their judgment on that TCO fee.
Great idea.
So that if someone is legitimately progressing towards that CO but is falling behind for whatever reason, that our professional staff who has the experience and the knowledge has the ability to do what is right by our community in order to make that an option. So that's what I'm hoping to accomplish with that.
Equitable? Like, is it sustainable?
I would imagine so. I can tell you at least the gentleman who spoke before council a month or two ago, I believe he told me right now his TCO would be at a $4,000 price tag instead of $500, and next month would double again to $8,000. If he's legitimately progressing towards getting a permanent CO, that would be certainly onerous and inequitable. So that would be the goal. But again, not wanting to take the tools away from our staff and ensuring that we have the ability to continue to leverage the TCO fee to gain compliance, but allowing for the ability like we do in PAWS.
I always say, to answer your question, Kemp, you bring up a good point. I always treat people fairly, but not the same.
Oops.
And the same thing I go with my kids all the time is that you have a sense of equity, of fairness in what you do. It's applicable for a certain situation. Doesn't mean necessarily you're going to treat everyone the same in in how you go about getting the things done regarding fairness across the board. And I think that allowing for flexibility, allowing for them to use the discretion. I mean, they're just SMEs. They know it, right? We'll know if somebody's trying to screw us over and work for something else, or someone who's actually making a point to it. And then if we see them using their discretion in an equitable fashion, well, that's when we have a city manager, other folks, and that's when people can bring it up to us as well. But I think that you go in thinking, okay, people are going to use the best judgment, and then if something happens.
I think to jump in, though, this is significantly higher stakes than waiving an adoption fee. I think that
Yeah.
I would want to see some sort of governance or something around it,
Yeah.
whether that looks
Yeah.
like an application process or it goes to the Planning and Zoning Commission or to us or somewhere. I think because I would also hate to be the employee that approves one in good faith and then
I don't think you're. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
So you could do it a few ways. I will request that it not be a director. That's overpopulation is the way that the animal shelter is allowed to do that. So we actually have standards around what that means. This uses the word substantial, which I do fear sometimes in the development word. The word substantial, I could drive an 18-wheeler through the definition of that word.
$100.
And so, but if you wanted governance, you could do the city manager makes a recommendation, and then here's what we believe to be substantial or not substantial, and you could take it to a vote. Or at minimum, I would just ask that the city manager be held responsible for that decision, if not the governance of the body.
Yeah, I agree that I think there should be some guardrails or governance over that, to provide feedback on how the applicant is, working towards a resolution, and to have some oversight or visibility into that. I mean, I did feel originally that the punitive nature of doubling that was a lot. So 8,000 a month, or that's, I don't know. I mean, and yeah,
It's crazy.
so, but I guess I don't know enough about the details about you have a small business that's trying to do something versus a large thing. I don't know if there's a difference in fees based on the scale or scope, but but I think there definitely needs to be guardrails, so it's not just a person's judgment, but there's standards, for basically a fee waiver request.
Well, I think that's why he's bringing back the policy, because I never heard anything in there that, one, there would not be some criterion set for that. Two, that it's important for us to actually, we have faith and understanding regarding our SMEs, our experts who are in these specific fields with it, while at the same time having oversight from a city manager to get something involved with that. And three, that the policy wouldn't have some sort of, you said clarity, guidance, and anything else from there as well for flexibility for us to see that. I think it's a great idea. I think that it's an idea that's a long time coming, and I can't wait to see what our attorneys, no pressure, comes up with for us to go ahead and see what.
Yeah, no, there's clearly extenuating circumstances where this is very much appropriate. So.
But doubling every month can get out of hand, completely out of hand, real fast.
It's some motivation, though.
It's motivation to do business somewhere besides Pflugerville. If you're looking at a $64,000 fine, but one of the contractors got held up, so he can't do it until next month. So it's a $128,000 fine the month after that. And at that point, most businesses look real skeptically at the idea of ever doing a project in Pflugerville again.
Well, I mean, if you don't have your certificate to operate and we're allowing you to still operate and make money, then there needs to be a penalty with that. If you're not ready to open, then don't make money. Don't open and make money. Just wait. It's a penalty.
A penalty is one thing. A penalty of $64,000 is another thing. The penalty of $128,000 is another thing. A penalty of $256,000. When you double every month, you get into really, really large numbers really quickly. And maybe we should look at putting a cap on that. I do like the idea of putting some kind of appeal in place where they could appeal to the city manager and say, it looks to me like this is getting out of control, and possibly even an appeal to the city council for large fines. I don't want I don't want anybody appealing a $400 fine to the city council. That seems too low a threshold. But if somebody's looking at a $64,000 a month fine, that's a big number. And if the city manager wants to spend more than $50,000, she's got to come to us. Maybe if there's a fine that's over that, it should come to us also. Guardrails.
I look forward to the conversation, and Kim, to her point, I look forward to a 7-0 vote instead of a 6-1 vote whenever this comes up on the.
All right. Any other feedback input into that concept?
Is this just for that particular temporary certificate of occupancy, or is this going to be for any fine or penalty that's in the master fee?
The TCO, as I understand it, is the only one that doubles.
Okay.
The only one that increments at that rate. So I would plan to focus on just that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Sounds
All right. With that, we'll move on to items 2D and 2E. These are going to be executive session items. First is consultation with legal counsel pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code for discussion regarding the Central Wastewater Treatment Plant expansion project, and consultation with legal counsel pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code for discussion regarding the proposed settlement and release related to property located at 515 Oak Meadow Drive in the amount of $27,554.16 to fully resolve claim number TX 252749 filed through the Texas Municipal League Risk Pool. We are in executive session at 5:32.
Awesome.
6:30.
I was like, I'm not going to be able to change clothes. I'm going to have to go just like this.
Time is 6:23. We're back from executive session. No action was taken. That concludes the items on our work session agenda. We'll see you all at 7 o'clock.